Today's case is a story of Shantae Mallard and the night she struck a man with her car. This is Hold My Sweet Tea. Hey, I'm Holly.
And I'm Pearl. And I have a slight update to some of the stuff we talked about before my episode about the hanging guys in Mississippi. So I was reading the Clarion Ledger, big newspaper for Mississippi. And now, obviously, these dudes were found within hours of each other on Monday the 15th, which was like my daughter's birthday, poor thing. They're saying that, how investigators initially ruled his death a homicide. Trey.
Yes,
Trey. The student.
Mm-hmm.
Trey. That there was some misinformation running around the internet. They're saying that some of this misinformation includes what the county coroner described as inaccuracies about Trey Reed's limbs being broken. Apparently, there were also some shared photos of the other guy, his name's Corey.
Yes.
That were wrong. They weren't the correct photos.
Oh, okay.
Weirdly enough. So while the preliminary report from the coroner indicates no evidence of foul play, they do recognize the fact that this isn't just about what facts they can see,
mm-hmm.
that it's about emotions and feelings, and the way this loss was discovered also has an effect on people's lives. So they just want to point out that I guess it's not true that he had broken legs.
Okay. So lots of misinformation then.
Correct. But they also are saying, that they do still have a lot of investigating to do to make sure that they're thorough. And the Southern Poverty Law Center wants increased scrutiny and thorough investigations for both men, for this very reason, with all the craziness flying around. So they're gonna fix it.
Yeah,
I guess is basically it. They're like, we think it's suicide, but we're gonna make sure we look into this very thoroughly, and wanting to make sure that they're correcting that there are pictures floating around out there that are not what they say they are. And the broken legs thing is also something that somebody made up, and it's just kind of spread everywhere.
Well, I'm looking forward to the facts to see, what really happened.
Right. So I figured that some civil rights groups would get involved a little bit and stuff like that too. Yeah. So it was just a little something I read, and I was like, oh,
still a little update.
I don't want to be, spreading misinformation either.
Yep.
So we'll backtrack that and let everybody know that we read something that wasn't true. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, the wonderful world of AI and all this other mess, you never really know.
It's horrible.
You never really know.
Yeah. It's a good thing, but also it's a bad thing. It spreads so much misinformation and just...
Right. Which is why I was like, let's make a point to just fix this, because I want you guys to know that if we make a mistake, we're going to come back and correct it.
And if you hear a mistake, correct us.
Yeah. Let us know.
Yep.
For sure. So today you are taking us on a little trip to where?
So we're going west because, we spend a lot of time toward the east over here in the South. We're going to go to Fort Worth, Texas.
All right.
So this is one of the most haunting cases to ever pass through a Texas courtroom. It isn't just about a car accident. It isn't just about fear or panic. It's about what happens when someone makes a terrible mistake and then doubles down on it. And it forces us to ask, at what point does inaction become murder? So we're going to go back to October 25th of 2001. Back again. Fort Worth, Texas. It's after midnight. 25-year-old Shantae Mallard is out with her friend, and I'm going to spell her name because I cannot pronounce it. I'm sorry. Titillise. We're going to call her T, as her friends do. Last name Fry. So I'll just refer to them as Mallard and Fry. They're partying. Woo woo, right? Like any 25-year-old back then would do. Partying, drinking. They split an ecstasy pill.
Ooh.
They were smoking.
They really partying.
Right. They were smoking
They're
some
that
marijuana.
kind of partying.
Yeah. Like they were having
Here
a good
I
time.
was just in the club drinking.
Yeah.
No, we're doing the extra stuff. Okay.
And they smoked some marijuana, so they were, on a good high buzz through the night. Around 2:30 in the morning, Mallard tries to drive, but her friend, Fry, notices she's too far gone. So Fry takes the wheel and gets them back to her house. And I don't think either one of them should have been driving at that point, but here we are.
Y'all should have had a DD on standby.
Right. Called the tipsy taxi or something. But after dropping Fry off, Mallard insists on heading home herself. She's like, nope, I'm going home. So she climbs into her gold Chevy Cavalier and merges onto U.S. Highway 287. The road is dark, nearly empty, because,
yeah, it's early.
It's early morning, She turns...
Nothing good happens out in the early morning.
Not at all. She turns into a long curve near Loop 820. And then, in an instant, everything changes. Standing in the roadway is Gregory Biggs. Biggs is 37 years old. He's a brick mason. He's known to be kind, soft-spoken. But life hasn't been really kind to him back. He was struggling financially and mentally. They said that he was struggling with some mental disorders himself. And at the time, he was homeless. He was moving from place to place, but he always was there for his son and everything. Like his son lived with his mother and he always had a place. So he would go see his son, but he was trying to do the best he could and get by and deal with his mental health at the same time.
I feel that.
Yeah. So Mallard didn't see him in time, and the Cavalier strikes him with devastating force. Biggs's body smashes through the windshield into her car. His lower body remains outside, dangling. His upper torso and face are now inside, just inches away from Mallard's face. I know all that happened in a millisecond, I'm sure. But glasses shattering, blood spraying, and here's this guy's body inside of your car halfway and right in your face. But this is the really haunting part. Gregory Biggs is still alive. He groans. He tries to breathe. He moves. But instead of stopping, instead of pulling over, Shantae Mallard keeps driving.
Tell me she's driving to the hospital.
You would think so. Hospital, police station,
Fire
somewhere
station.
public where you can get some help.
Mm.
She drives all the way home, pulls into her garage, shuts the garage door behind her. The man is still moaning in the windshield. But no 911 call was made. No neighbors hear like her going, "Oh my God, help me, I hit this guy." No ambulance, nothing. She went inside of her house. And hours later, Gregory Biggs bleeds to death alone in the dark, hanging out of a windshield in her garage.
What in the hell?
Now, like, an accident is tragic, but what Mallard does afterwards is what shocks the conscience. Like, the next morning,
Shoot. What she's already
Right, what
done
she's
is
already done,
shocking.
right.
Like, literally, do you think you're just going to get up and it's going to be
Right.
poof, not real? I
No.
didn't actually have a guy in my windshield?
No. She's like, okay, well, maybe she thought, maybe I was seeing things. I don't know. But
That's a crazy half of ecstasy pill.
the next morning, she doesn't go and confess. She doesn't do anything like that. She doesn't even check on Biggs. Instead, she calls some friends, and one of the guys that she called borrowed his girlfriend's car, and they go and they poke him with a rake handle to see if he's dead.
Oh my God.
Dragged him from the windshield and out of the garage, wrapped him in a blanket, put him in the car, and later on they got DNA evidence out of the guy's girlfriend's car.
Yeah, I was about to say, somebody who doesn't even know what the hell happened here has now evidence in their car.
Right. They drive him to Cobb Park, a wooded stretch near the Trinity River. There they leave his body on the ground and toss the blanket in a dumpster. It's a cover-up. They thought, you know what? We're done. Nobody's ever going to know.
Right.
But, secrets like those don't last long. So, just next weekend, here's Mallard, she's at a party, and she lets it slip. She tells somebody she hits this white man, and he was stuck in her windshield. Well, that friend actually called the police.
Yay, friend.
Yes. Soon, detectives search her house. They find the Cavalier, blood inside, glass shattered, windshield smashed.
I was going to say, she just got this car sitting in her garage still.
Right.
Like, she ain't done nothing to cover
There was
up
still blood,
any of that.
hair, all that matter. Apparently she had taken the seats out and tried to burn them in the backyard. I guess she was working on it, maybe.
I gotcha.
So, Shantae Mallard, an LPN,
nice,
is arrested. So, she was a nurse, like a nurse's assistant, a licensed
practical
nurse,
Did nothing
and let this man die.
I think that makes it worse.
Yes.
For me.
So the state of Texas charges her with 2 crimes. Tampering with evidence, that was for hiding and moving Biggs's body.
And apparently trying to set her seats on fire.
Right. And murder. So here's where the law comes in. So prosecutors aren't saying Mallard murdered Biggs by hitting him with her car. No, the car accident may have been unintentional. So what they say is Mallard committed felony murder because she failed to stop and render aid.
Yeah, I mean, the car accident, that would, for me, add a DUI charge.
If you cause someone to have bodily harm, you have to stop and call 911 or something, have somebody else call 911 or help in some kind of way. Otherwise,
it's mud.
Right.
Well, fleeing the scene of an accident.
Yeah.
There's so many other charges here.
Right.
Let's put them all on.
Yes. And by taking Biggs home, shutting him in her garage, and leaving him without help, she committed acts clearly dangerous to human life that caused his death.
He suffered in her garage.
Yes.
Yeah.
For about 2 hours.
Wow.
So at the trial, the medical examiner, Dr. Perwani, gives chilling testimony. He says Biggs's injuries, though severe, were survivable. Like the 2 hours it took him to die, he could have gotten emergency care.
And lived.
Right. So he said at the hospital, patients with similar trauma have lived. Emergency care could have saved him. By keeping him in the garage, by not calling for help, Mallard robbed Biggs of his only chance. So friends testified that Mallard admitted hearing him groan, that she knew he was alive, that she chose not to help.
Mm-hmm.
So the jury listens to all of this. They deliberate. I think it only took like a couple of hours, like getting all the information and all that stuff. When they return, Shantae Mallard is found guilty of murder. The sentence is 50 years in prison plus 10 years for evidence tampering.
Mm-hmm. So she gets a 60-year.
Yeah.
Are they concurrent or?
They are, yeah, it's one after the other. So
Okay.
It's 60 years total. Not time served together.
Yeah.
But the case doesn't end there. Mallard appeals to the 2nd District Court of the Appeals in Fort Worth. Her lawyers argue, first, that the evidence wasn't strong enough. Maybe Biggs would have died anyway, regardless of her action. I'm sorry.
It doesn't
what?
matter. That doesn't matter. Even if here's my thing. You tried to get him help. Your ass you're getting what? An involuntary manslaughter, some
Right.
probation.
DUI or something like that?
Yeah, like such a lesser situation
Yes.
that it's not even funny. And you could actually keep your job probably.
Mhm.
In this instance, no.
You have nothing anymore. Second, that the jury instructions were flawed, especially the parts about transferred intent and concurrent causation, which could have confused jurors. Third, they point to a comment from the prosecutor during sentencing, suggesting it unfairly drew attention to her silence after arrest.
What?
I'm like, I think they're
Everybody has the right to remain silent, and everybody knows that.
right. So at this point, they're just grabbing straws.
Yeah, they're just grasping at whatever they can try to grasp at.
The appellate judge's review of the record, like on sufficiency, they ruled the evidence was enough. Testimony proved Biggs was alive. Medical experts showed aid could have saved him, and she knew how to do basic aid. She was a nurse.
Yeah.
Her choices contributed to his death.
Mm-hmm. Her choices are exactly why he died. It wasn't the trauma from the car accident that killed him in this instance, in my opinion. Because like you said, we could argue that all day long if he actually got to go to the hospital. But the sheer fact that all of this was ignored and he was left there to fend for himself, like, it's not the same.
Did she think he was just going to crawl out and go on about his business?
Like open her garage and go home?
Like, he's gone, you know?
Yeah.
So on jury instructions, they admit maybe some definitions weren't needed, but say they didn't mislead the jury. On the prosecutor's comment, they say the defense objected too late, so too little too late. In the end, the appeals court affirms her 50-year sentence stands. So they knocked out the other part. So this case, I mean, I have lots of questions. What do we owe to someone we hurt, even accidentally? Like basic human decency?
Yeah.
When does panic stop being an excuse, to start being a crime?
Okay, well, panic in the moment.
Yes.
You drove all the way to your house. Okay. But you went inside while he's groaning.
You went to sleep.
You went to sleep.
And you knew the next morning what you did, so you were still aware.
Right, like nothing happened. You went night-night.
Yeah.
Like, I would never. No.
Right.
Like, I don't care. That would have been the most sobering moment of my life.
Right. Because the responsibility lies not in the accident itself, but the afterward.
And the fact that you called your friends to help you cover this shit up.
And the choices that she made. Like, that was all on her. So for the state of Texas, the answer was clear. Failing to render aid, hiding the victim, and letting him die in your garage. That isn't just cowardness. It's murder.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank.
You chose death for this man. You did. He didn't choose it. You chose it.
Yep. So that was the story of Shantae Mallard versus the state of Texas. I mean, she could have been, scared, intoxicated, but her silence and her inaction, because she didn't even have any actions.
No.
Like, caused this man to die.
My thing is, would I be completely freaked out? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, literally you thought getting in trouble for driving while under the influence and hitting someone by accident was worse than letting him die in your car, in your garage.
But to be honest, like, if you hit somebody like that, the first thing that any sane, rational person would do would pull over to the side of the road
immediately. Absolutely.
Assess the situation, freak out a little bit, get your shit together, and then call 911 immediately. Like, it has to happen.
I'd be 911 call, three-way-ing somebody else and being like, I just hit this man.
Yeah, because in 2001, there were cell phones.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you couldn't have dialed somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I would not have moved. I wouldn't even thought to start my car up and go somewhere. Yeah.
Minimal consequences for this if she actually would have just helped the guy.
Right.
Are you going to be scot-free like it never happened? No, but you also weren't going to be that way by trying to hide it.
Because, I mean, the man was standing in the middle of the road in a curb. So, like, it's not like she did it on purpose, but her actions were
she did
100%,
those on purpose.
Yeah, on purpose.
Yeah.
And being a nurse. And that's what kills me. Like, that was like
that's
the nail
the worst
in the coffin.
part.
Yeah.
The worst part.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you literally are... gosh.
And when they found him in the park, there were fragments of glass all, in his midsection and shoulder, like where his face went through
everywhere
the glass.
That touched,
so there were fragments. So you thought dumping him there, somebody would have been like, oh, this homeless man, something happened, he got hit or something happened and he died.
Mm-hmm.
He has glass fragments in his body.
Yeah.
From your windshield. And I know it doesn't shatter the windshield. It has that plastic stuff in there, but still, for him to hit that windshield that hard and it to go through.
Yeah.
Oof.
She was cruising.
Yeah, and it broke his leg. When they found him, his leg was folded over, like on top of itself.
Mm-hmm.
So he had severe injuries. He suffered.
Oh yeah.
That whole time.
Massive pain. I'm surprised he lived
that long. Yeah.
As long as he did. like that after she parked.
Yeah.
And to think that, I don't know how far away she hit him from her house.
Right.
Like, how long did it take you to get home?
With a man sticking out of your window.
How did you pass no one? I mean, I get that it's like pretty desolate at night, but you passed no one?
Right. No cars, no houses, nobody, not through town or anything. No one. Crazy.
Whew.
Do you know who's not crazy?
Patty Salzetta. Well, I don't know. She might be a little cray-cray.
She a little loco.
She's living la vida loca.
Yes.
But
that was my segue.
That's
You're
why.
welcome, Patty.
That's why she made our theme music, because she's the most sane person we know, which she may be over there going, that's sad, Pearl.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, if, like we said in the beginning, you hear anything crazy or weird or off in any of our episodes, please let us know. Send us send us proof.
Mm-hmm.
Send us that too, because I would like to provide said proof in the source material. And
also, we're rolling into October soon, so we're trying to get stuff together for the Halloween season. So, got any good witch hunts or grave robbing or
anything
spooky ooky.
Yeah, I think we'd rather do some spooky stuff, some haunty type things over red rum. Yeah. I mean, sometimes they involve red rum, but you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean. We want to do some stuff we can have a little bit of fun with. Make October a little lighter, because these past few days have been gross.
Yeah, lots of schmurder.
Lots of it. It's sad how much there is actually in our world, but you can always send your ideas to steeped@holdmysweettea.com or message us on any social media platform that you already follow us on, or you better already follow us on.
You better.
You better.
And Hold My Sweet Tea is a Drunken Bee production.
Bzz.
And just remember to stay safe out there, and just because we're dipping doesn't mean you can't keep sipping. Bye. Stay out of the middle of the road at night.